good to get back and start practicing today. I think our guys are anxious about getting back and getting on the field and preparing to play a game Saturday and a home game. And so I think our players are excited to do that. Get last week behind them. I think they did a good job coming in Sunday. They came in, they were somber on Sunday, disappointed obviously, and then by the end of practice Sunday night, I think the guys had gotten over it, and we talked about it and learned from it, and had our teaching points, and and the good thing is I feel confident that in the future, if these guys are in that same situation again, we'll figure out a way to win the ball game. And really, that's kind of what growing up as a program is about, learning. And the funny thing about coaching is you learn a lot more from losing than you do winning. It's lessons are kind of painful, but I think that you probably, because when you win, you have a tendency to put a happy face on some things sometimes that aren't necessarily very good. And so for us, it was, it was an opportunity to correct a lot of mistakes in a lot of different ways. And as I said, next time we're in that situation, we'll handle it a little bit better. So the players were good. Like I said, I'm excited to play Colorado this week. It's they're a good football team. A team that's got a little momentum coming in here, and I'm sure playing with a lot of confidence.
Okay, questions?
What have you seen out of Nelson Spruce? I think 3 of the past 4 games, 100-yard receiving games, and I think he caught about 8,000 balls on Saturday.
Yeah. No, they're getting him the ball a lot of different ways, and he's making plays. I mean, that's the thing that stands out about him more than anything else. Just he's just making a lot of different plays on the football, contested plays, and as I said, they've done a nice job of being creative and figuring out how to get him involved, and he's carrying the load right now for their offense. He really is, and just making not only a lot of plays, but also plays in critical situations.
In the second half, it seemed like Arizona was creative and found different ways to get their guy Jones the ball. How much is that instructive in how you approach?
Yeah, the Jones is a good player, and so they kind of just threw it up, and he made some plays, and like anything else, I mean, we've got to learn to play those better and get our guys some help, and we can get them some help from a scheme standpoint. And so, they'll see the tape, and, they'll, I'm sure, try to take advantage of some of those matchups and do some things. And, we're just going to have to, do a good job of mixing it up enough where we can get some safety help. But at the same time, when our guys have to make, one-on-one plays, it's going to be important to make them.
Sonny, how's McClure, first of all? And also, if you can just talk about, the confidence level that's starting to grow, even in a game where kind of all went to pieces at the end. I would think there's a lot that they take forward from that game.
Yeah, I think our guys, I mean, it's obvious. I think they've we played a really good game, particularly in the first half, and even, going into the third quarter, I think going into the fourth quarter, I think it was 31-13, and to play that well on the road against a good football team, it wasn't like they turned the ball over a bunch. Sometimes you'll play a game where you'll go play somebody and, they'll have 5-6 turnovers and kind of give you the ball game. And that wasn't the case Saturday. I mean, our guys, went out and took it, and didn't finish the way we wanted it to. But I think there's a lot of confidence to be taken from that. And it's like I told them, I think Sunday, I just said, hey, look, we're the team that was ahead 31-13 going into the fourth quarter. We're also the team that found a way to lose the ball game. And so, for us, we got to figure out how to be the team that played the first 3 quarters for an entire football game, and if we can do that, we'll have a good team.
And McClure?
Oh, McClure, we'll see later this week. I mean, I probably won't do much today, and kind of see how he progresses.
So, how do you become a better finishing team? What are things you can do?
Yeah, just grow up, get experience, go through those things, those situations. I think that's what happens is it's a lot of it's just kind of expecting to make a play versus wanting and hoping to make a play, and there's a big difference here, and you start to expect it when you've done it, and and I think our guys right now have worked really, really hard, and they've invested, and they're playing with some confidence, but it's still, we're still growing as a program, and there's still that uncertainty, I think, at times. And, when we get past that, and as I said, just kind of expect something good to happen, then I think as a program, that's when we'll really kind of take the next step.
As a coach, how do you take that loss? Because there was so much that was good, and then, crazy fourth quarter. Where's the... Yeah,
you just got to teach. The thing is, you got to just kind of learn from it and just keep teaching. And there's, from a coaching standpoint, there's 50 things, I wish we would have done different, and then, and so it's good for us, to kind of go through those things and think about them and ponder them and that's part of coaching. That's what you always do. And you do the same thing really when you win. You go through and you say, yeah, we really played good, but boy, we kind of messed this thing up, or we need to do this better. And, but as I said, it's magnified when you lose, and particularly, the way that we lost Saturday. But, it's as a program, you keep pushing forward and as I said, the fact that we played as well as we played for the majority of the game, I think, is a real credit to our players.
So can you, how pleased are you with the improvement of the run game? It seems like each week so far has been better, and now you're playing a Pac-12 team and you ran the ball very
it was better. It was better. We made some big plays. Like anything else, you want to, you want to have that consistency, and we, we had, as I said, more big plays, and we were due to have some in the run game. First couple of weeks, we just hadn't generated that many, and we were close often. And it was good to see us generate those this week. And, we just got to be more consistent in the run game and make sure that, we continue to play physical. And our backs really finished runs well Saturday. I was really impressed with the way, Daniel Lasco and Calfani, both finished runs. I thought they ran very, very hard, kept their feet moving. Got extra yards, and it was good to see those guys do that. And then, as I said, generated some big plays. So, as an offensive group, we just got to keep being physical up front. Guys got to keep running physical, got to finish blocks and finish runs. And as I said, we made a lot of progress.
Sonny, in terms of the fatigue kind of that you mentioned about in the fourth quarter, is there anything you can do about it?
Well, it's tough because, you want to be able to... You want to be able to, play your second group, and that's the thing when, they ran 50 plays in the first half and scored 6 points. Okay, so, necessarily running plays doesn't equate to points always. What happened to us is Arizona played a little bit desperate, and I think as the lead got big, they were forced to play a little bit desperate, and when you're playing against a team that's playing desperate, it's hard. It puts a lot of pressure on you. They don't have anything to lose. And they were going fast, obviously very fast, probably as fast as I've ever seen any team go. It's hard to substitute when that happens. We had some times where we had to use timeouts because we were trying to sub guys and didn't want to get a 12 men on the field penalty. And so it's tough. As I said, you want to be able to start some drives. You have to be able to start drives with some backups, and right now we just don't have that many that have any experience, and so that's a bit of an issue for us. We just got to keep developing those young players, and that's why, to Tony's credit and Art's credit, that's why they played so many guys early, because we knew that we were going to have some issues, and that's why you've seen a lot of young players play up to this point during the season is we were preparing for a game like Saturday. Now, we weren't quite there yet, and had this game happen a little bit later in the year, we might have had some guys that were a little further along and a little bit more ready to contribute. But we've got to continue to develop players and build some depth and, bring those guys along.
How's Hardy Nickerson physically? And I couldn't tell how much he played in that game, and
he actually played quite a bit. Yeah, it's the most he's played this year. He held up pretty good. Yeah, he held up pretty good. I thought he played pretty well. And again, I thought our linebacker play was good, particularly against the run. As I said, those guys started to wear down a little bit late in the game. We missed some tackles. That was one of the things that you could see we got a little fatigued and we missed some tackles late that we did not miss early. And so we've just got to continue to, to work through that.
Sonny, how do you feel about Jared's play so far this season?
I think he's played well. I thought he really played well Saturday. I thought that was probably the best he's played. The thing that he does week after week after week is just get more comfortable. He's starting to recognize things better, and he made a couple of pretty remarkable throws. He threw a kind of a bender route to Treggs one time, which is about as good a ball as you can throw. I mean, he made some really big time throws. He's still working on being consistent, and he's still a young quarterback. He still hasn't played that much football yet. A couple of throws I'm sure he'd like to have back. That were short throws here and there, but the good thing about Jared, he knows that, and he's working on it, and I mean, the kid's a really good player, and so. We're excited about where he's headed, and just think he's going to continue to do nothing but get better every week.
Hey, Coach, David had to go park his car, so he wanted me to ask by proxy. How do you think Lou Fau has improved from last year to this year, and what makes Spruce such a good receiver?
Yeah, the first thing on Spruce, I think the thing that stands out for me is just his competitiveness. I think he just... to me, that's when you sit down and you start looking at receivers, the great ones have this like burning desire to catch everything, and I think that's where it starts with him. I mean, he's just very competitive, and that stands out to me. And he's got good body control and good size and runs better than you think. And, one thing he does well, too, is transition out of breaks incredibly well. That's something that a lot of guys don't do. So you can tell he's caught a lot of balls in high school, and has been just a good solid receiver that knows how to play the position. And then to me the quarterback is he's kind of going through the same process Jared is. Played early last year, and had and played well, and has just improved. I mean, his timing's better, his accuracy's better. Puts to me his mid-range accuracy has really improved. The ball is where it needs to be, and more often than not, on the correct shoulder and that type of thing. Just the little things that make good quarterbacks. He's starting to understand them, and and you can just see, week to week, honestly, with him, just the improvement as well. I thought he really played well this past week.